The sky darkened before its time. This was no ordinary storm. The air felt heavy, as if creation itself was holding its breath. On a hill called Golgotha, 3 crosses stood against the horizon, and on the one in the center hung a man who had done no wrong. His name was Jesus. The crowd murmured. Some mocked, others watched in silence, and a few wept without fully understanding what was unfolding before them. His hands were nailed, his body worn down by pain, his face marked by blows. Yet in his eyes, there was something that could not be extinguished. At his feet stood a mother, carrying her grief in silence. Mary looked up at her son, remembering every moment since his birth. The child she once held in her arms now hung wounded before her. There were no words for such sorrow. Nearby, a disciple remained standing, trying to be strong, but his heart was breaking. Everything they had believed, everything they had hoped for, seemed to fade in that moment. The soldiers, unaware of the weight of what was happening, cast lots for his garments. To them, it was just another day, another execution. But what was taking place was far more than that. Every nail, every wound, every drop of blood, told a story. Not a story of defeat, a story of surrender. Jesus lifted his eyes toward heaven. His breathing was weak, every word cost him strength. Yet even then he spoke. "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing." There was no hatred, no vengeance, only love. In the midst of unbearable suffering, he chose to forgive. Beside him, one of the men crucified next to him looked at him with desperation. In his final moments, he recognized something different in Jesus. Something pure, something eternal. "Remember me," he said with what little strength he had left. And Jesus, even in his agony, answered him with a promise that reached beyond death. That day, it was not just a man being executed. A purpose was being fulfilled. The sky grew darker. The earth trembled. The veil of the temple was torn in two. It was as if the universe itself responded to the weight of that moment. And then, silence. Jesus bowed his head. It was finished, but not in the way the world thought. Because what seemed like the end was, in truth, the beginning. An act of love so deep it broke the barrier between God and humanity. A sacrifice that demanded nothing in return, but gave everything. The cross was not just an instrument of death. It became an eternal symbol of love. A love that forgives even when it hurts. A love that remains when everything else fades. A love that does not depend on who we are, but on what he chose to give. And though that day was dark, painful, and filled with sorrow, it was also the day love spoke louder than suffering. Because on that cross, Jesus did not just die. He loved to the very end.